Voice of Indonesia.
Especially our special interview today with Agnes Serfozo. Agnes Serfozo is a Sinden artist from Hungary who masters many traditional Javanese Sinden and gamelan or song poems. She was born in Budapest, Hungary and continued her studies at LTBTK Budapest, majoring in literature and cultural anthropology. And to commemorate World Music Day, Voice of Indonesia is excited to hear your thoughts and experience related to this special day. Hello, Miss Agnes. How are you? And greetings.
Greetings too. Thank you for the opportunity today to be together with the listeners of RRE.
Thank you so much. So can you please tell us a little history about yourself and how and why are you choosing Sinden as your main profession, actually?
Okay, it was a little bit accidental. So when I was studying literature and cultural anthropology in Budapest, I listened about the opportunity to get scholarship to Indonesia, and I chose Pedalangan. Pedalangan, studying wayang.
Okay.
Wayang. I was earlier reading a lot of writings from Clifford Geertz about wayang, about Javanese wayang, about the philosophic and aesthetic background of this very, very high developed and sophisticated art. So I was very curious about it. And then I came to Indonesia, especially to Solo. I was studying at STSC. Nowadays we call it EC, Institut Seni Indonesia Solo. And then I just tried to behave as the most of the Pedalangan students, you know. They were from backgrounds with Pedalangan, so daughters and sons of Dalangs. So it was a little bit difficult for me from Hungary to join such a kind of education. The only thing I was able to do, it was singing sulukan. Singing sulukan. Suluk is a song of a Dalang. So I was not able to do sabetan, moving wayang, or playing on instruments. The only thing I was able to do, okay, just try to sing suluk. And I sang suluk, and my teacher said, relative good. You are from Western culture, but you can find the pitch of slendro tune. Would you like to studying Javanese vocal? And it was like, okay, nice. I like to sing since my childhood. So I began to train myself to become a Sinden. And then after a while, 4 or 5 years of practicing and different experiences, collaborating with different Dalangs, I became a professional singer. So this is the story.
Okay, I see. So how do you prepare yourself, especially since Sinden is not, not like a usual thing in the Western world? How do you see yourself in like the traditional form, and how do you prepare yourself before any special rituals or any events before you sing? Is there like you learn the grammar or other stuff like that?
Yes, it's like singing in a gamelan ensemble is a very holistic thing. You have to have appearance which is nice. You have to understand the prakam, the tradition of gamelan songs. You have to master the language, the Javanese language. You have to master the part of literatures which you will sing. So it's very, very complicated or complex, we can say. So I can say I'm still learning. And every Sinden, not only me, but other Javanese Sindens, they are learning until they finish their profession. Because Karawitan tradition is very, very rich.
I see.
So never ending learning, we can say.
Because everything has so much other meanings than just what you can see from above, right? And so what difficulties that you might face in maintaining and preserving the art of Sinden in today's modern era, since Sinden is not usually really the main focus of music in the popular world right now. But how do you see yourself in this current situation?
Okay, I think the basic problem is that maybe the Indonesian society is in a cultural gap nowadays.
Yes.
So they just left the traditional life forms and values, but they don't have new ones.
Yes.
So it's a cultural gap, we can say. And often they see this profession like being a Sinden, like something which is, something which is too rural, too primitive, too countryside.
Yes.
And they don't believe that it has artistic value as other vocal forms from the other sides of the world. So it's a little bit different. You are a Sinden, how you can be a Sinden? Like Sinden is something which is not good or not enough valuable.
I see. But in your case, you are really popular in Indonesia, especially the singing career in Sinden. And how was the Sinden music influence you in your life and career? Especially, do you have more jobs in Indonesia? Because from what I can see, that you are going to Surabaya like next week to perform in the diplomatic forum in Voice of Indonesia.
At this moment,
Yes.
I'm the only foreigner Sinden in Java, because my earlier seniors like Hiromi Kano from Japan, they already left this profession. So I'm alone now as foreigner Sinden, and it means that it doesn't mean that I'm very popular, but I am the only one, and maybe some occasions need my join the occasion. So it's not about because I'm popular, okay? I don't feel so actually.
But you must have been pretty good. And speaking of foreign Sindeners, is other than you and who you mentioned before, is there other Sinden singers that you know of that teach you the ropes of doing Sinden?
No. Actually, we always learn Sindenan with Javanese senior Sindens like Bu Tugini, Bu Padmi.
I see. So you learn Indonesian language as well, right? While learning? Okay.
Yes, of course. Because Indonesian is our national language, so we have to speak Bahasa.
I see.
And Javanese is necessary for the wayang performances, because the language of the wayang performances still are Javanese language.
I see. So, speaking of music, in June 21st is World Music Day. And can you share your perspective about music, and please explain why it is important to commemorate this special day?
Okay. Generally speaking about art, all kind of arts, all forms of art, including music, I think art is a very, very basic expression of human being. For example, we see the evolution of a child. Yeah? A child, before he walks, he dances first. Before he speaks, he sings.
Yes.
So it's a very, very basic experience to express emotions, atmosphere, mood, feelings, and thoughts. And since my childhood, music was relatively important for me. My grandmother origins from Transylvania, and in my childhood, I spent a huge amount of time with her, and she was always teaching me Hungarian traditional songs, especially from Transylvania. And this was a very, very basic music experience for me around the age of 5 or 6 years. And after it, in the basic school term, I joined events and ligas for traditional singing in Hungary. So maybe this is my basic for doing Sindenan, because Hungarian traditional music is also pentatonic. Same like Indonesian music, Indonesian traditional music. So maybe this is the reason how I, as foreigner, can find the tunes of Slendro pitch.
Oh, I see, I see, I see. From what you said, it is really interesting because singing is like probably the way to learn new languages, right? Because by learning, just simply by learning, it is hard, but by singing, you can learn quite faster to understand other languages, right? Isn't that how you feel about it?
Actually, my opinion is that music is a universal language. So if we observe patterns in music, melodies, chromatics, we can find similarities.
I see.
Not everywhere, because every tribe or nation or geological division of world has different definition about what is called music and what isn't called music. But I think there are basic similarities. So I have the opinion that music is a universal language.
I see.
Music is a universal language, and through music we can communicate feelings, thoughts, which are limitless and boundaryless.
I see, I see, I see. And how do you see the role of technology and social media in promoting and maintaining public interest in the art of Sinden?
Okay, it's quite exciting because it's very, very different from the time when I was beginning to learning Sindenan. I began learn Sindenan around 2009. YouTube was already here, but not a lot of traditional songs were up on YouTube. So when I want to study something like a gending or a jineman, I have to buy a tape, a cassette tape, you know.
I know.
And this is a very, very basic experience for everybody who is from Gen X, like me. So like listening music from tape recordings, not from social platforms or internet platforms. And I see now the thing is a little bit overwhelming because the amount of music we can access in a moment through like Spotify, it's too much. We are overwhelmed. We are not listening seriously to the music. We just, okay, I don't like it. The first 20 minutes, seconds, and then track switch. Switching. So too many music here. I think, okay, we have easy access to all of kind of music, but we are not seriously listening to music. Do you agree with me?
I agree with you because, and starting off music, we must find, right now especially, we must find to start off the music, we must start off with a bang so that everyone would like to hear the rest of the songs continuing on, because who want to start off weak and then nobody will just easily skip you and search for other songs that suits their taste and the first few seconds of song, and I totally agree with that.
So this amount of music which is coming out now, and we can access it very, very easily. It's a little bit confusing. So we are confused now what I have to listen and how I have to listen seriously to music. Because in the age of cassette tape, we have to listening until the next track. There was no possibility to switch it. So it was more deep, I think, more focused.
Yeah, more personal way to connect with the music. Am I right? So, speaking of music in this modern era, and what message and advice would you like to convey to young musicians, especially foreigners who want maybe interested in learning the ways of the Sinden, and especially in the world music day, since every musician is unique in their own way, and maybe you want to recruit younger generations to your Sinden?
Okay, personally, me, I can speak about gamelan ensemble because I'm working inside the tradition of Karawitan gamelan ensemble, which has a lot of local varieties with different tuning systems, and this gives an unlimited possibility to creating music. So this is wonderful. And still exists an opposition between traditional music and contemporary music, which I think is just like a man-made term, which is not relevant today, because what we call contemporary today may it refer later as traditional music, like it happened with Kinarto Sabdo in the 70s and 80s.
I see.
At that time, it was like, wow, out from the tradition, out from the pakem, is so edgy. And nowadays, we refer to it like tradition, as tradition.
Sure.
So just don't be stopped by the label like you are too contemporary, you are too modern, you are going far away from tradition. Because I think the most important core of your music is like having a very, very personal attach to what message you would like to put into the music, what messages you would like to give to the listeners.
I see. So, any ways for you, a special way for you to connect with the audience while you are performing live on stage?
I think for me, especially Bahasa Jawa, Javanese language, because it is a little bit unique. Foreigner can speak Javanese language fluently. Again and again, Kromo Inggil, which is the most difficult form of Javanese language. So it's always a good way to touch them.
Sure. I see. Okay. Thank you so much, Miss Agnes, for the special interview with us in Voice of Indonesia. Hope you are doing great, and of course, great future will be waiting ahead of you. And
thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome, Miss Agnes. And for listeners, don't forget that you can send your critic suggestion and maybe some chat or question to Miss Agnes through our social media and Facebook account, The Voice of Indonesia, if you are interested. And Twitter account at VOI Indonesia, Instagram and TikTok in VOI_official, and our email address in VOI at voinews.id. And make sure don't miss out Miss Agnes' special performance next week in Surabaya Live from Diplomatic Forum. Thank you so much for our listener and RRI viewers for accompanying me in this 1-hour broadcast and with a special interview. Stay tuned with us always on Voice of Indonesia, from Indonesia to the world.
Voice of Indonesia.